have thought that it would end in a draw when City went too clear with 12 minutes to go. But that was not the end of the action, and Brentford have hauled themselves off the canvas to find a draw. The final score at the G-Tech Community Stadium, Brentford 2, City 2. Well, let's go back to the studio. And, well, I don't think anyone predicted that, but it was in a breathtaking second half. Over to you, Nat.
Yeah, no one predicted that, Ali. Certainly no one predicted that at 82 minutes when City were 2-0 up and flying. But a 10 minutes that has shocked us all here in the studio. I'm still joined by David White and by Keith Curle. Keith, my head's in my hands. What happened there in the last 10 minutes?
But being able to see a game out, you've got to probably say there's knowing how to win a game. You can't say the City don't know how to do that, but they do, because they do, and they've consistently done it year in, year out. But there's some surprising things when you're watching it and you're thinking the game's won, it's 2-0.
Yeah.
And then you're thinking, and then I've looked at Akanji at Wednesday, and he's in the opposition's box looking for a ball.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, like, do you need to be doing that now? Do you keep your shape?
We're going to go straight now over to Brentford, where FG and Michael Brown are pitch side.
Yes, full time from the G-Tech Stadium. And listen, we were so close. What a game, by the way. What a game of football. Great defending at moments from Manchester City. Great performance as the players come towards us now.
The players were excellent today. I think we've got to look at that and say it's a tough place to come and play, but the way they contributed, the way they drove forward, Phil Foden getting those 2 goals, you thought it might have been Kevin De Bruyne as he ran right here, but we deserved more, didn't we? They'd be so disappointed that we just couldn't get over the line, but this Brentford side really pushed us.
And let's have a word on the supporters as well, behind us, making so much noise, appreciating the team and their efforts today.
Yeah, I mean, look at these City fans behind us. Look how much they're getting behind the team, and realise that was a decent and very good away performance. Phil Foden just in the pictures there, getting 2. But we've got to see out games. We've got to find a solution of getting these points. It's hard at the moment, but you take the positives, you look at it and you say, right, did we do well? Did we have the most control? How many shots did we have? How much territory? Savinio had so much just on his own.
And we look at these Manchester City supporters, and they can tell that the bad run is sort of gone now. That's in the past, because we look forward now. We look at the results, we look at the performances. The overall performance is so much better for this team.
Yeah, it was. It was a really good performance, and we get that. And that's why all these supporters have stayed right till the end. And you see the reception they give them, even after that disappointment. I mean, it's hard to take, isn't it? Because we were walking around here to get in position thinking, here we go, it's going to be a really good celebration. And this is Premier League football. You've got to be clinical. I look at the first goal. We just didn't clear our lines. At 2-0, we stayed a little bit deep. The ball come in, and then it comes across, and then it was off. It gave them something to go at. But even then, at 2-1, we kept pushing. We kept trying to create. McAtee, Savinio, De Bruyne, everybody there. And you just felt something could happen if we didn't get the third.
And we have to mention Kevin De Bruyne, our number 17, because what a ball he put in for Phil Foden, and that means so much to us to see him getting that match sharpness back as well.
This ball, right, he gets it, he waits for the build-up, then he just drifts out into the areas. But then he sees it early, and only some people will see sort of Phil Foden like as if he's already there as he touches it in the corner. But anyone who really watches it, he already anticipates as he gets his head up, he looks, Phil starts drifting in, then he fizzes it right across. Phil knows it's coming, waits, delays, just a great touch in the corner. But De Bruyne did it 4 times in the first half. We created key moments from what he contributed. When he gets on the ball, something happens. What was impressive, FG, he looked like he was getting fitter. So I mean, just not on the ball where he does things. There was one run in particular when I was sat near and he drove all the way through. He's getting back to his best, which is good.
And yeah, we can't wait to see Kevin De Bruyne back to his best. But a positive performance for City. We go to Ipswich at the weekend with a lot more confidence. We'll head back to the studio where I'm sure the guys will be saying the same.
Thank you so much to FG and to Michael Brown there. They were a lot more positive than I feel. I appreciate it was a good performance, and if you were neutral, I'm sure you very much enjoyed that game. It was exhilarating and end-to-end and had drama. I cannot shake being 2-0 up at 82 minutes. David, now you were very optimistic at half-time. Can you make me feel better?
I don't think I can, to be honest with you. I was optimistic, and I think the optimism is justified. We played really well. We're in control of the game in the second half. The substitution, maybe you'd wonder, do we not just put another player alongside Kovacic? I don't know. But then you're inviting pressure, maybe doing that. But we did seem to have an awful lot of control of the football. Obviously, a fantastic crossing from De Bruyne for the first goal. Savinho does great for the second goal. And then it's kind of an odd one, really, because we've got loads and loads of possession, unwilling to give up with a cross or a shot, whereas Brentford can throw everything at it, and they did. They threw the kitchen sink at it, and on a couple of occasions we just weren't able to defend well enough. I think there's loads of great stuff to take from the great game. There's loads of great performances, but if we want any opportunity to stay in this fight, we can't be dropping points like that. So it's really, really disappointing in the end.
So 55% possession for City overall, 21 shots for City, 8 of them on target. Of course, for Phil Foden, 2 shots on target and 2 goals. So that is a positive to take from the game, Keith.
Yes, loads of positives. Individual performances and collective performances. You're saying, definitely going in the right direction and what you want. But in football, there's always a saying that 2-0 is a difficult lead to defend. And again, when they got the first goal, you're thinking this could be a long 6, 7, 8 minutes now. And again, you've got to give Brentford credit as well. Stuck to the task, and like David just said, then last 6, 7 minutes when they had that opening, they threw everything forward. And again, just. The second goal is probably, if you're taking it away, then not being a City fan, if you take it to it being a football coach, you'd say that the cross for the second goal, too easy to put the ball in the box. And if you allow people to put the ball in the box, opportunities do arise for the opposition. But you've got to say overall, more than comfortable at 2-0. And again, you think about it, this could be 3, this could be 4. Next thing, 2-2. That's disappointing to take, but you've got to accept it.
Let's have a chat about the 2 City goals. The first goal, Phil's first goal, the cross from Kevin De Bruyne and the little finish into the side of the net by Phil. Beautiful goal. Great cross. The actual technique of the cross, his positional play, getting himself into that position, and when he's there, he knows where he's going to put the ball in that corridor of uncertainty. And you could tell there was a forward momentum about City when the ball got into the final third areas. We got people making those runs into the box, which I think has been lacking previously. And you show that's coming back now, where and then that's making opportunities. It's a great ball in, but if people don't make that run. It's just a great cross. But then for the cross, and then Phil's run and his touch, sublime. I've missed those crosses from Kevin. I really have. Mm-hmm. Did you enjoy that one? It was a brilliant. I mean, he's when he gets in those positions on the right side, that's what we used to get from him time and time again, didn't we? A few years ago, he's changed his game. He's more of a kind of a second striker now than a right-sided midfield player, if you like. But great to see him in that position. As he crossed it, I thought it was there for Phil to head it, but the technique to finish it was absolutely incredible. It was a brilliant, brilliant goal, and unfortunately not enough to win us the game. You did. I remember you did in the studio. Yeah, you did shout, "Head it! Don't head it!" But yeah, that was a lovely goal. And then, of course, Phil. We think it was Phil. We're pretty sure it was Phil. Phil got the second goal as well. And to start with, we thought that we might have the first ever joint goal in the history of football. Looking like that, I thought it was 3-0. So Savinho, he gets a great turn, doesn't he? I think just inside their half. Positive, bombs forward, and then I think we look at him saying, just do it, just keep going. And I said to Keith that your mind will get made up for you. And he seemed adamant that he was going to look for where he passes, and nobody came to him.
And really, but by looking inside, I think he kind of made the defenders' minds up. Ended up good, strong shot. The keeper wasn't able to deal with it. And as you say, what you need, 2 players desperate to get on the end of that. And we had exactly that. And Kevin definitely has a swing and follows through. But I don't think he ever connects with the ball. And Phil gets his second goal.
Yeah, it looks like that on the slow motions now we are hearing. But at the time, I dreamt that they'd both connected at the same time. And I honestly thought, this is brilliant. What we going to do here? But it was Phil. It was Phil's second as well. But of course, at that point, then City go on and concede too. So Wissa late goal on, and then just in the last couple of minutes as well, Brentford equalised. I mean, if we're trying to put a positive spin, what could we do to change? What could we do in future, Keith? What could we have done differently in those dying moments?
Again, it's difficult because City normally dominate possession, the excellent ball retention, and are you going to take away that freedom that players have to go and express themselves? No, you're not. Again, that's a basic one. Like, can you show more energy, more urgency to stop the ball being played into your box in the last 2 or 3 minutes of the game? You're 2-1 up away from home. You can't allow the ball to come into your box that easy. And that's not an individual criticism. That's just, again, like the energy that the players have expelled in that game today was exceptional. You can't blame anything about the lack of energy, desire, willingness, application. It's just the finer points that if you're going to pick up a detail, you're thinking, that ball's coming a little bit easy.
Positive towards the end as well. City could have actually lost the game in the last couple of minutes, and Bowen had a great chance, and Nathan Ake managed to get a head in, and it was almost off the line. That was a huge moment, David.
Yeah, we can't forget that we actually had some great defensive play, some real last minute stuff. Credit to Brentford to get themselves just a bit of a hold in the game, because we really were dominant for large parts of that game. And yeah, we had some good defensive displays and some really good and key defensive moments from the defenders and the goalkeeper. Unfortunately, I think we've just got to look at it and just take the part. I think there were an awful lot of positives in that game. It's great to see Phil coming back to some real strong form. I thought Núñez did okay, given that he's in an unfamiliar position. Savinho did well again. Erling looked strong, and there was a point during the second half, and he'd give the ball away. And Keith said to me, it's the first time he's done it. He'd been strong. He'd looked after the ball. So I think there's an awful lot to be positive about moving forward. It's just disappointing when you can see 2 points like that.
Matheus Núñez was playing an unusual position for him and for football as well. Still haven't quite put my finger on what we could call that. Another defensive moment I remember when you were saying there was the block by Vardy in the second half as well.
Yeah.
The recovery, the speed, the last... Oh, it was a thing. I bet you enjoyed that.
Oh, yeah. It's as good as a goal. Centre forwards or strikers or forward players, they take pleasure in that. As a former defender, you see that willingness and that desire to get back. And it has to happen instantly as well. You can't, now I decided to go. So, no, you've got to get there. I think 2-0 up, if somebody said then, right, there's going to be another 2 goals in this game, I think everybody would have said, City 4-0.
Yeah. And it was a great game. It was, everybody in the studio here were commenting how, for the neutral, what a great game of football it was. And it's just disappointing. I know we've not come out of it the wrong side, but certainly from 2-0 up, you feel as though you have. But there's a lot of great football, a lot of things to celebrate, and a lot of things to be optimistic about.
OK, thank you. I feel a bit better. Thank you very much. Of course, you can get a full match replay on City Plus as well, so you might want to go back and watch that. I mean, I'm not going to, let's be honest. I'm not going to. No, I might. I'm only joking, because there is a lot of positives to be taken from the game as well. We're going to be optimistic here. Of course, there is other games going on tonight, like we said. So 2 other games in the Premier League that are now full-time. Chelsea 2, Bournemouth 2. Chelsea equalising in the 95th minute of that game, Reece James. West Ham 3, Fulham 2. The Graham Potter era is well and truly off and running there at West Ham. 82nd minute it is in Forest versus Liverpool. It's currently 1-1. 82nd minute there, so about 10 minutes left in that game. In terms of the table, doesn't change much for City, still currently sitting in 6th, but of course it's very, very congested. Chelsea in 4th on 37, Newcastle in 5th on 35, and then City in 6th on 35. That is on goal difference, obviously. And then Bournemouth below us on 34. There was another game tonight, of course, that we were all keeping an eye on in the FA Cup. Leyton Orient 1, Derby County 1. That is 90+3 as it stands, so that'll be going on into extra time and then penalties. We will know at some point tonight who we will be playing in the 4th round, but as yet we do not know. And so then we will turn our attention to the weekend, and our men will play again on Sunday at 4:30. That is against Ipswich. We are away from home, and of course it's going to be an incredible day of football, because after that game, 6:45, our women play in the WSL here at the Etihad Stadium against Manchester United. So Sunday we are back, and trip to Ipswich, another long away trip, but an opportunity to use some of the confidence that we've had and some of the good moments tonight, David, and hopefully this time, of course, back onto winning ways.
Yeah, we've got to take the positive out of it, haven't we? And there's plenty of things we can look at, and I think individual performances is a real key one. We've got a lot of players out there who are getting the confidence back, showing what they're really all about. And as I said, we've got a bench full of people who not only are really sort of gasping for the opportunity to get out there, but have got confidence and goals in them as well. So I know I've had an evening of optimism, but I'm confident. I think we'll go to Ipswich and get that victory.
Good. Of course, a lot of respect needs to be given to Ipswich as well. They've had some good results recently. Of course, they beat Chelsea 2-0 at home in the period in between Christmas and New Year, their first win in the Premier League. But beating Chelsea at home, a huge, huge result. After that, a draw with Ipswich, and then they won in the FA Cup 3rd round. So going there, they'll have a level of confidence. Do you think, Keith, almost, if we can beat Chelsea at home, we can beat anyone at home?
Yeah, I think so. I think the manager is his first season in the Premier League, and every game is a challenge. And again, it shows today. Brentford's not an easy place to go to now. And again, you can probably see there how they finished the game. How it's a very formidable place to go and play football, and credit to City, because they went there. They earned the right to express themselves very well. Got 2-0 up, and you're thinking, just close the game off, but Brentford didn't allow them to, and by their willingness to get forward and put men forward into the box and create those openings. So you got to give them credit. But again, lots of positives to take individually and collectively from the away performance.
For Ipswich as well, of course, leading their line, they have Liam Delap, who was a Manchester City Academy player, a player I know a lot of City fans continue to keep their eye on, because he's having a great season, isn't he? Is that something to prove for him, do you think?
Again, I think there's lots of players now that are Championship, Premier League, that have had a good foundation of coming through City's ranks, which is it's not a disgrace if you haven't been able to maintain your progression at City. There's still a career out there for you. A lot of that is because of what you've learned and the good habits that you've picked up while you've been here.
So Liam Delap's played 19 times this season in the Premier League for Ipswich, and he's on 8 goals. I mean, it's a decent return for your first season in the Premier League.
He's a big, strong lad, isn't he? And he's willing, and he's aggressive, but as Keith says, the coming through this academy system, you're not, even all the better players, you're not going to retain here, and with best will in the world, you're not going to be challenging in the Champions League with a group of youngsters. So part and parcel of that academy system is for people to move on, and for all these players that are out there will have sell-on clauses. There's a bit of business going on out there as well. So, and I think we've shown tonight we've still got some great senior players, and we've got some of our young kids here too. So we've probably got the right mix. And you can't. It's like the Cole Palmer situation. Who'd have foreseen it? And if the choice at the time was we keep Palmer or we keep Foden, I think every one of us at the time would have said Foden, and I'd still be saying it now.
And I think as fans as well, we're so proud of our academy that when players go on, so a player like Liam Delap, like Cole Palmer, we want them to do well. Yeah. Obviously, not again. Oh, actually, as long as we win when we play them, I hope Liam Delap plays brilliant on Sunday, but I hope that we win because we want to see our academy talent go, because it's only good for us, isn't it, Keith, that our academy continues to shine? Yeah,
and again, I think it's important for the academy as well. They obviously they want to produce players for our first team, but part of the remit is giving them a foundation that gives them a career if it's not at City.
Yeah, absolutely. I look forward to seeing that. Excuse me. So, Mr. Positive, finish us off today with some positive thinking for City fans to take from between now and Sunday.
Do we know where Liverpool are finished tonight?
Oh, I'll check. Hold on. I think it might still be on. Hold on. Is it still on? I'm clicking on it right now. It's still on. 87 minutes, 1-1.
Right. So hopefully, if that stays the same and Chelsea is a draw, we've not gone backwards, and we've put in a really good performance against a team who've been really, really good at home and strong at home. So we can only take positive from that. We've got a difficult run of fixtures to come. But we've seen a bit of light at the end of the tunnel, and we've won a couple of games recently too. So that's as optimistic as it can be for you.
Thank you, I appreciate it, and thank you very much for being here on Matchday Live.
Thank you very much.
Really enjoyed your first show, and I hope you'll come back and join us another time.
Yep.
Keith, thank you very much, as always. Thank you. Hopefully we'll see you very, very soon. Thank you very much all for joining us on Matchday Live tonight. Of course, we started the show by paying tribute to the one and only Tony Book, Skip, because, of course, yesterday we had the such sad news that we've lost a true great of the game, a true great of this club, former player, former manager, Tony Book, passing away at the age of 90. From Keith and from David and from everybody here at Matchday Live, our thoughts go out to Skip's family at this time.
He's Mr. Manchester City for me.
Tony Book, you made him captain. It's the best thing you ever did.
And it's a goal! Tony Book is the scorer.
It's a privilege to know him and for him to have done the great work he's done over the years for this football club.
Again, another City legend, Tony Book. Tony Book, one of the great legends of Man City, and Mike Summerby. I mean, it's so fitting. They set the mantle here for people to emulate.
I always remember playing in the 1970 League Cup final against West Brom. I was coming out for a cross, and as I'm taking off to come for the cross, Jeff Astles got up and nodded the goal. We were 1-0 down, and Tony came up to me and he went, "Listen, forget it. Just get on with it now. You can't do a thing about that. Get on with it." He gave me the support. He was captain. And we ended up winning 2-1.
That's what they waited for at Main Road.
That was the biggest influence that he put into me.
He gave everybody a grounding. You had to be honest, you had to work hard, and that works in football, but it also works outside of football.
He should be immensely proud of what he's done, particularly for this football club and hundreds of footballers.
What a moment!
If you're looking for an icon or you're looking for a legend, Tony Book is the man at Manchester City.